Good evening, Patriots Nation. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Before we get started, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and stay tuned because today we have important information about the New England Patriots that every fan needs to follow. So comment down below where you're watching from and let's get straight into the news. One player is generating more excitement than almost anyone else on the New England Patriots roster heading into the 2026 NFL season, and the reason is becoming harder to ignore with every passing week. The conversation about potential breakout stars in Foxborough continues to grow, but one name keeps rising above the rest: Tre'Von Henderson. What makes this story so fascinating is that Henderson's rookie season was already much better than many people remember. At first glance, some fans felt like they never truly saw his full potential. There were stretches of the season where his workload seemed surprisingly limited, and there was a constant feeling that there was another level waiting to be unlocked. But when you actually look at the numbers, the production was already impressive. Henderson finished his rookie campaign with 911 rushing yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, and an average of 5.1 yards per carry. Those are not ordinary numbers for a young running back adjusting to the NFL. In fact, they suggest that the foundation for a major breakout is already in place. What is even more interesting is how his season developed over time. Early in the year, Henderson's role remained relatively small. Through the first 7 weeks, he averaged just over 6 carries per game. For a player with his explosive ability, that workload left many wondering why he was not being featured more heavily. The Patriots appeared to be easing him into the offense, keeping him behind Rhamondre Stevenson in the backfield hierarchy. Then everything started to change. As the season progressed, Henderson's opportunities increased dramatically. From weeks 8 through 15, his workload jumped to approximately 14 carries per game. That increase completely transformed his production. During that stretch, he averaged nearly 89 rushing yards per game, showcasing the type of impact he can have when given consistent touches. The difference was impossible to miss. Suddenly, Patriots fans were watching a running back capable of changing games with a single play. His explosiveness became one of the most dangerous weapons in the offense. Big runs started appearing more frequently, and defenders struggled to keep up with his speed once he found open space. When projecting those numbers over an entire season, the results become even more eye-opening. Maintaining the same pace he produced during that expanded role would place him near the 2,500-yard rushing mark over a full year. While projections never guarantee future production, they demonstrate just how productive Henderson became once his opportunities increased. Several moments throughout the season gave fans a glimpse of what could be coming next. There were explosive runs that highlighted his ability to bounce outside, accelerate instantly, and turn ordinary plays into game-changing gains. Every time he found daylight, it felt like he had the speed to take the ball all the way. The Patriots coaching staff also appears to have strong reasons to believe his role can continue growing. Henderson enters 2026 with a full year of NFL experience, a deeper understanding of Josh McDaniels' offensive system, and greater familiarity with the speed and complexity of professional defenses. But the rushing numbers only tell part of the story. One of the most exciting aspects of Henderson's development is his ability as a receiver. When New England drafted him, many fans immediately focused on what he could do catching the football out of the backfield. At Ohio State, he demonstrated the ability to turn short passes into explosive gains, and that skill remains a major part of his game. Last season, Henderson recorded 35 receptions while sharing backfield duties. Combined with Rhamondre Stevenson's 32 catches, the Patriots received significant production from their running backs in the passing game. That is particularly important because Josh McDaniels has historically built offenses that heavily involve running backs as receivers. Patriots fans have seen this formula succeed before. Throughout some of the franchise's most successful years, running backs played major roles in the passing attack. The offense often relied on quick decisions, short throws, and backs capable of creating yards after the catch. Henderson possesses many of the traits necessary to thrive in that environment. There is also another encouraging sign. Henderson himself has openly discussed the areas where he wants to improve. During off-season media availability, he pointed specifically to route running, catching passes out of the backfield, and blocking as key areas of focus. That mindset is exactly what coaches want to see from a young player entering a crucial second season. Of course, there is one challenge that still remains. Pass protection was one of the biggest weaknesses in Henderson's rookie campaign. While his overall offensive contributions were impressive, blocking consistency became an area that occasionally limited his opportunities. In a pass-first offense built around around Drake Maye. Protecting the quarterback is non-negotiable. The good news for Patriots fans is that Henderson appears fully aware of that reality. His commitment to improving as a blocker could ultimately be one of the biggest factors determining whether he merely has a good season or truly emerges as one of the NFL's most complete running backs. Everything seems to be lining up for a significant leap forward. The expanded offensive line, another year in the system, increased confidence from the coaching staff, and a growing role both as a runner and receiver all point toward a player ready to take center stage in New England's offense. The excitement surrounding TreVeyon Henderson is no longer based purely on potential. It is based on production, development, and the belief that his best football is still ahead of him. The real question now is whether 2026 will be the season when he officially takes over as the Patriots' #1 running back and becomes one of the biggest stars in the entire league. Do you believe TreVeyon Henderson will take over RB1 duties and deliver the breakout season Patriots fans have been waiting for? The reason this conversation has become so important for Patriots fans is because the team may be approaching a turning point in the backfield. For years, Rhamondre Stevenson has been one of the most reliable offensive weapons on the roster, but the emergence of TreVeyon Henderson has created a situation where New England suddenly possesses a legitimate two-headed rushing attack. What makes Henderson's rise particularly intriguing is that his success is not built on volume alone. Many running backs can put together decent statistics simply because they receive a large number of carries. Henderson's production came from efficiency and explosiveness. Every time he touched the football, there was a feeling that something special could happen. That belief is supported by the advanced metrics as well. Henderson ranked among the league's top running backs in several efficiency categories during his rookie season. Those numbers reinforce what fans saw with their own eyes. He was not simply collecting yards. He was creating opportunities, maximizing touches, and generating production at a level that suggests there is still another gear available. The Patriots understand that explosive plays can completely change an offense. In today's NFL, teams are constantly searching for players capable of turning routine situations into highlight reel moments. Henderson showed flashes of that ability repeatedly throughout his rookie campaign. Whether it was a run bouncing to the outside, a sudden acceleration through a crease in the defense, or a reception that quickly turned into a significant gain, he demonstrated the kind of athleticism that defenses struggle to prepare for. Those moments became more frequent as his role expanded, and that trend could continue in a major way throughout 2026. Another factor working in Henderson's favor is the offensive philosophy being implemented around him. Josh McDaniels has always valued versatility from his running backs. The Patriots do not simply want a player who can carry the football. They want someone who can run, catch, block, and remain on the field in every situation. That is exactly why Henderson's offseason development is drawing so much attention. He has spoken about wanting to improve as a receiver and blocker, two areas that could significantly increase his snap count. The more complete he becomes as a player, the harder it becomes for the coaching staff to take him off the field. If he can develop into a trusted option in pass protection while continuing to improve as a receiver, there may be very few situations where New England would not want him involved. The receiving aspect of his game could be especially important. Historically, some of the Patriots' most productive offenses have featured running backs who contributed heavily in the passing attack. Fans remember how dangerous those offenses became when backs were consistently involved as receiving threats. Defenses were forced to account for them on every snap, creating matchup problems all over the field. Henderson possesses many of those same qualities. His speed allows him to create separation. His quickness makes him dangerous in open space. Most importantly, he has shown that he can turn a short completion into a substantial gain. With another year of experience in the system, it would not be surprising to see his reception totals rise significantly. If that happens while his rushing workload also increases, his overall offensive impact could become enormous. Of course, none of this means the Patriots are simply moving on from Rhamondre Stevenson. The expectation remains that both players will have important roles. Stevenson continues to bring toughness, experience, and consistency to the offense. Having two talented backs gives New England flexibility and depth throughout a long NFL season, but the growing belief is that Henderson may begin receiving the opportunities typically reserved for a featured player. That possibility becomes even more realistic when considering how dramatically his production improved once his touches increased last season. The evidence is already there. The Patriots saw what happened when they expanded his role. Fans saw it too. The offense became more explosive, and Henderson looked increasingly comfortable as the season progressed. progressed. Perhaps the biggest reason for optimism is that his rookie season may have only scratched the surface of what he can become. Young running backs often make their largest leap between their first and second seasons. The adjustment period is over. The playbook becomes more familiar. The speed of the game slows down mentally. Confidence grows. Players begin reacting instead of thinking. Everything Henderson has said during the offseason suggests he is embracing that challenge. He understands where improvement is needed, and he appears committed to refining every aspect of his game. That type of mindset often separates good players from great ones. If his development continues on its current trajectory, the Patriots may soon find themselves with one of the most dynamic young running backs in football. A player capable of producing as a runner, impacting games as a receiver, and becoming a foundational piece of the offense for years to come. The anticipation surrounding the upcoming season is growing because fans can see the potential. They can see the flashes. They can see the numbers. Now everyone is waiting to see whether those flashes become a full season of dominance. Training camp is approaching quickly, and all eyes will be on Tre'Von Henderson as he takes the field. The expectations have never been higher, and the opportunity in front of him has never been bigger. If he delivers on the promise he showed during his rookie year, the Patriots may have found one of the defining offensive stars of their future. The confidence surrounding Henderson is also being fueled by something that often gets overlooked when discussing young players: timing. Not every talented rookie enters the perfect situation right away. Sometimes it takes a season for the coaching staff to fully understand how best to use a player's skill set. Sometimes it takes time for a player to adjust to the speed of the NFL. And sometimes it takes both. That is why so many people around the Patriots are looking at 2026 as a potentially massive year for Henderson. The foundation has already been built. The rookie mistakes have already happened. The learning process has already started. Now comes the stage where talented players often make the jump from promising contributors to legitimate stars. One area that could have a major impact on his production is the continued development of the Patriots offense as a whole. A stronger offense naturally creates more opportunities for running backs. Longer drives mean more touches. More red zone appearances mean more scoring chances. Better offensive balance